I was talking and I didn't start it. Okay, well, sorry. It's just one page. But I have the same thing in the previous class yesterday, so sorry. Okay, so now we want to talk about the total distance. The total distance is the integral from a to b from the absolute value of v of t dt. In our case, the total distance will be the integral from 0 to 3 from the absolute value of 3t minus 5 dt. First, if you remember, we have 3t minus 5, the absolute value, and has two options. One option is 3t minus 5 if 3t minus 5 is greater than or equal to 0. I move 5 and divide by 3. I don't ever solve the second one, because if this is to the right of 5/3, this must be to the left of 5/3. No questions there. But the second option is that negative is the opposite of what's inside. So as we see, 5 divided by 3 is somewhere in between 0 and 3. So therefore, this integral now, by one of the definite integrals properties, will be a sum of two integrals. The integral from 0 to 5/3, from 0 to 5/3, from negative 3t plus 5 dt, of course, and from 5/3 to 3, from 3t minus 5. And this number is going to be a sum of two numbers. It will give us the total distance, and it has to be a positive number. Why? How do I know? It's because this is a positive function on the interval 0 to 3. Of course, it has to be a positive number. We're adding distances, or the particle's movement. Okay, so this is, again, negative 3t squared over 2 and plus 5t, the same thing, but from 0 to 5/3. And this one is 3t squared over 2 minus 5t from 5/3 to 3. And then we'll continue calculating. Any questions so far? Anyone? No one wants to talk to me today? Okay. Well, I'll wait for you to ask questions if you have anytime, right? Okay. So I have to plug in 5/3. So this is negative 3/2, and I square 5/3. 25 over 9 plus 5 times 5/3, 25 over 3. Luckily, there is no point in plugging in 0. Moving on, plus I plug in 3. 9 times 3, 27, divided by 2, minus 15. But careful now, minus. It's preferable to put parentheses, not to forget to distribute later. 3/2. And square this, 25 over 9. And then minus 25 divided by 3. Okay, so let's see what we have. I will simplify. Negative 25 over 6 plus 25 over 3 plus 27 over 2 minus 15 minus 25 over 6 and plus 25 over 3. So this with this will be negative 50 over 6. But negative 50 over 6 is negative 25 over 3. So these two will make up one of those. So now I have 27 over 2 minus 15 plus 25 over 3. The least common denominator is 6. This one needs a 3, this one needs a 6, and this one needs a 2. So 81 and minus 90. And plus 50. I'm checking my numbers. Yes, and 50, and yes. So this is negative 9. So it's 41 divided by 6. Meters, of course. So the particle starts here at time t equals 0. Eventually, 3 seconds later, lands here at a distance of 1.5 meters to the left of the original point. But what it does, the total distance is this. So that's approximately 7 meters. So total distance approximately 7 meters. Starts here, goes I don't know where, ends up here, but the entire distance covered is about 7 meters. To be exact, 41/6. That's the last thing I have new from this material. There's nothing else. We don't have anything else. We just have to review for test 4. Okay, so let's go to WebAssign, and I would like you to pick. And let's start with 4.9. So go to the assignments and click on 4.9 and tell me what you need help with. Anything. Anything from 4.9. Anything you think you need help with, and we'll solve it now. Anyone?